Guten Tag, Kinders. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother. And there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Redcap. One day, her mother said to her, the grandmother lived out in the wood, half a league from the village, and just as Little Redcap entered the wood, a wolf met her. Redcap did not know what a wicked creature he was, and was not at all afraid of him. The wolf thought to himself, so he walked for a short time by the side of the Little Redcap. And then he said, Little Redcap raised her eyes, and when she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees, and the pretty flowers growing everywhere, she thought, and so she ran from the path into the wood to look for flowers. And whenever she had picked one, she fancied that she saw a still prettier one further on, and ran after it. And she got deeper and deeper into the wood. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door. The wolf lifted the latch, and the door sprang open, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in bed, and drew the curtains. Little Redcap, however, had been running about picking flowers, and when she had gathered so many that she could carry no more, she remembered her grandmother and set out on the way to her. She was surprised to find the cottage door standing open, and when she went into the room, she had such a strange feeling that she said to herself, she called out, but received no answer. So when she went to the bed and drew back the curtains, there lay her grandmother, filled her cap pulled over far above her face, and looking very strange. And scarcely had the wolf said this, than with one bound he was out of bed and swallowed up Redcap. When the wolf had appeased his appetite, he lay down again in the bed and fell asleep and began to snore very loudly. The brave German soldier that was just passing by the house stopped and thought to himself, so he went into the room, and when he came to the bed, he saw that the wolf was lying in it. Then, just as he was going to fire at him, it occurred to him that the wolf might have devoured the grandmother, and that she still might be saved. So he did not fire, but took a knife out and began to cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf. When he had made 2 cuts, he saw that the little red cap shining. And then he made 2 more cuts, and the little girl sprang out crying. And after that, the aged grandmother came out alive also, but scarcely able to breathe. Redcap, however, quickly fetched great stones with which they filled the wolf's belly. And when he awoke, he wanted to run away. But the stones were so heavy that he collapsed at once and fell dead. All 3 of them were delighted. The brave German soldier drew off the wolf's skin and went home with it. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine which Redcap had brought and revived, but Redcap thought to herself, The end.